What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another exciting episode of Hyper Vibe. Back another week. Yo, D, I've been thinking about something. How you
You're
doing?
late.
First of all, how you doing?
You're late.
Late with what?
You're late. We supposed to started an hour ago. But anywho,
Man,
go ahead. Keep going.
how are you doing? Haven't seen you in about 10 million years.
No, it's been doing some traveling.
Yeah.
All is
Where,
well. You know what I'm
where do
saying?
you go?
All is well. Besides your tardiness, I can actually say I can't complain. Everything is fine.
Nice. Okay, well, tell the people where you went.
Now I didn't know all of that. You know what I'm
Oh, I thought it was
saying?
someplace exotic.
Yeah, someplace exotic, but they don't need to know. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know.
You see how he is? Okay, that's what you're dealing with, people. Okay, so
They don't need to know. You know what I'm saying? I
nice.
put it this way: I was in Central America. I was down in Central America. I'm trying to get a little bit R&R. You know what I'm saying? But
Nice.
but yeah, it was good. It was good. You know, maybe I'll share next time. I don't know. Yeah. But
All right.
move on.
Fair enough.
All right. What
So
you got?
I got this. Long time ago when I met you,
In a galaxy
we're
far, far away.
far away, many moons from here.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to figure out which comic book database to look up my books and actually
Right.
kind of store them, catalog, track values over time. And I remember you telling me to, hey, get GPA, everybody uses that. And I tried it and I was like, man, I don't know, to me, it was accurate. It's an accurate database.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people still use it to this day. Even dealers live by GPA. That's all I hear about when you
Oh
go to
yeah,
cons.
the OGs and stuff like that, man. They really live and die by GPA.
Correct. But there's one in particular that you gave me the tip to use, and I've been using it since day one. So today's show is going to be about um, what's your preference? Do you prefer cover price, go collect, GPA? What's your specialty? Comment below, let us know. But I'll tell you this: the one that I love the most is go collect, and here's why. Sometimes when you buy these virgin books or you get them graded, well, better if you get them graded, you can actually look up the cert. Well, you can type the cert into Go Collect and it tells you the name of the book. And I don't think a lot of them do that. Um, you know, a lot of the other databases out there. If there are a few, let me know. But that's the best way and quickest way to kind of get the value of your book, the title, revision, whatever it is. And I remember back in the day when you were trying, like I said, teach me how to use GPA. I couldn't really navigate through it. There was a lot of different things you got to put in. Everything has to be on point before you find something. But my curiosity is, what is your preference? Like, what do you like to use to look up stuff?
I mean, you mentioned cover price. I mean, I seldom ever go into cover price. I think people that use cover price are like looking up raw books, right? Not necessarily graded books. So I think cover price is good for raw books. I mean, GPA is my go-to because of
Okay.
simplicity of use, right?
Okay.
But when it comes to GPA, especially when it comes to Golden Age, preco horror and stuff like that, I think historically GPA just a little bit better of seeing values and things of that nature, because some of those, high end Golden Age books or whatever, or pre-code horror, whatever you want to call it, do not sell all that often, right? So it's really kind of hard to get a gauge of exactly what's the real market of this book, especially if there's only 20 of them out there and they sell every 3 or 4 years. What, you're going to use the price that it sold 4 years ago? Right? I doubt that. With inflation, the world's changed. With a hell no, I'm not selling this book I bought in 2014 for $300, right? So
Right.
for me, it's pretty much GPA for ease of use, and then I'll some for more eclectic stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'll go back to GPA. But what I can say, and neither Go Collect or GP or anybody's paying for this and stuff. This is this is our personal preference of how we use these particular tools.
Okay.
Um, G Not GPA, but Go Collect has gotten much better. I mean, both GPA and Go Collect are integrated into their the
The database.
Yeah, the databases for both CBCS, CGC, and now I read and heard that PSA is also integrating their stuff into that.
That's right. You sent me that article.
Yeah, so then you can see exactly what how many of whatever's been graded. Oh, there's 109.8s or whatever. So okay, there's only 5 9/8. That means if I got one, that means I have one out of 5, right? So you can actually kind of see that better. And then also Go Collect has little different tools where you can kind of catalog your books and stuff like that. As far as your graded books, and put the cert numbers and stuff, and actually it'll give you some sort of like fair market value and things like that. It doesn't always hit on point, but for the most part it does. And I know there's a community that's inside of Go Collect where you can kind of sell things or trade things or whatever. I've never ever really tried to use it or really got into it, but Go Collect is, like, for me, it's a pretty good source. I want to say I started using Go Collect at its inception. I want to say I was like, one of the kind of like some of the first pool of people that actually were using the tool back in its infancy and stuff like that. So, yeah.
I think you were, because when you told me, it was horrible. And horrible in the fact that it was slow, just slow pulling information. Now I like it because it actually analyzes profit loss. So you can actually put in, you paid $300 for the book, and you can track and see over time whether it's making money, losing money, or you can put in your trades. Did I trade for this book?
Oh yeah.
So it does.
Oh yeah.
It does
I mean, that's kind of cool. You can put in what you bought for it, what you sold it for, whatever and stuff. I mean, but then, man, it's like you have to really, if you're really going to get deep into Go Collect, and to bring it into your everyday collecting things and stuff, bro, that's like, garbage in, garbage out, and you have to stay on top of it, right? If you just say over the course of the year you bought numerous books and stuff, but you haven't updated you updated your database or whatever and stuff to take out the things you've sold, put in the things that you bought, and then remember what you paid for something. Like, oh, come on, man. It could be a nightmare to the point like, man, I ain't, I'm not doing anything. That's kind of where I'm at, right? Because I used to have my graded collection inside of Go Collect. Now, I don't even know what it really looks like, because I sold a bunch of stuff. I bought some stuff, maybe, on a rainy day, on a Sunday or something like that. I kind of go in there and completely scrub it. But then at the same time, I have to pull all the invoices, what I paid for things and stuff like that, to get a true gauge of a fair market. Some of the books do, some of the books don't. It's just how they sold or whatever. If they can get like some sort of gauge or whatever. Because if it's only one of one, or it's only sold so many, then that's really no data for them to give you, some sort of accurate fair market value in the Go Collect system. Also, what's cool about Go Collect is like it'll tell you exactly where something sold, who sold it, eBay, Heritage. You know what I'm saying? I mean, GPA does that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But there's like just some steps to get down to there. And I think GPAs are still a very viable tool, but I think they need to revamp their system to get back up to the, get not back, but get to the 20 to 2025, put it that way, right? Because it's pretty archaic. I mean, I think it's powerful. It's a powerful database, but like you said, a lot of quicks and quirks. You got to put the number sign in there. You have to have all your spaces right and stuff like that. Because if you don't, you get nothing. But what's cool about Go Collect, you get a roundabout in there, and it'll give you a whole bunch of things that they think you're looking for, right? And you can kind of, kind of modify, how you wrote the search or whatever and stuff. Because if you put in Blackstone, who knows what's going to come up, right? There's a whole bunch of stuff. Then you can kind of narrow it down a little bit, but at least it gives you something. So
yeah,
then you can see the cover, right? Because you got all these volumes. That can be volume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. If there's 10 volumes of something, well, that means there are 10 number 10s in, one per volume, right? So you could be oh man, this book is worth all kinds of money. Come to realize, like, nah, bro, what volume issue is this? But the difference between Go Collect and GPA, you can see the picture of the cover in Go Collect, and also it'll let you know if it's considered a key, right? It'll give you like a little green check mark saying it's a key or whatever. Then you can look at a entire volume to say Iron Man, right? You can
Right.
you can pull up Iron Man, pick the volume, and then you can like just show the keys, right? So if you're a key hunter, right, you can just have Go Collect to show you all the keys in that volume, in that run or whatever.
That I didn't know. That's
Yes.
actually pretty unique.
Yeah. So if you go to X-Men, whatever, I mean, some books, are not necessarily are considered keys, but extremely expensive, right? But first appearances, story arcs and stuff like that. It'll, if the community considers them, of consequence of a key, Go Collect to let you know that it's a key issue and who drew it and stuff. So that's why Go Collect's pretty powerful, and that's why GPA in a sense is being left behind. But like I said earlier, the OGs and stuff like that, you go to the Comic Cons and stuff like that, and you go up to some old guy's book booth, man, he's pulling up GPA, he's not pulling up Go Collect.
Do you find that there's a price disparity between them both? Well, for when it comes to looking up certain graded books,
Sometimes,
like Go Collect might be like 40, 50, 100 books higher than what GPA is saying it's supposed to be.
well, I don't think GPA does a fair market value of the book, right? It just kind of gives what sold and how much it sold for, right?
Right.
And I think sometimes it could be a delay or a lack of capturing something, right? Just say that I don't, they're both can be equally kind of slow. I mean, so I buy something on eBay, right? I buy a book on eBay, right? It's hooked into the architecture, and then once I buy that book on eBay, it shows and Go Collect that it was bought on this date for this much.
Correct.
Right.
Or it could say it was sold on this day, but there's no price because it was like negotiated between that seller.
Right.
So you don't get the truth.
Right. So so GPA does that too. It doesn't say it was negotiated or something, but it was still sold, and the starting value or the request, was this price. So, but if GPA is slow and it's trying to do a fair market value and it doesn't get them all the books that sold, then it kind of skews, right? It kind of skews the fair market value, right? Because it says, well, it only shows 5 being sold, but there's been 8, right, since whenever, right? So, if it's kind of like slow of pulling in the data and stuff like that, it could be skewed or whatever. But I don't see a price difference because it's the same data. You see what I'm saying? I mean, if GPA was doing kind of fair market values on the book, then yes, depending on what kind of algorithm, what kind of new math each side is using, E equals MC squared, some shit like that, right? Then there could be some difference, right? But I don't see it. Hey, if it's sold for $1, GPA shows it sold for $1. Go Collect shows it sold for $1. They're sold for $1.
I think that's probably what it is, and you probably just explained it. Hit the nail on the head. Because many a times when I've been to a con, the price is just different. Like I'll look up GPA, like Go Collect, it'll say, value $200, and GPA is like $175. I'm like, dude, I'm not selling you my book for $175, but they, like you said,
there's a difference there, right? There's a difference between what you want for the book, the fair market value.
But it's 2 databases that's pulling information. So, like you said, one's probably later than the other one,
right? So, but
it's not what I'm making up for it. It's what I'm looking at.
Here's like buying, selling, and trading 101, right? Mm-hmm. So, there's a fair market value, right? And the fair market value is based on the number of books. It says 100 books, right? They have been sold at various different prices. Then they do a fair market. They do you do an average. You do an average, right? So out of all these books sold, we put in the 10 prices it sold for, and then it's going to give us out, the fair market would be a fair market value, right?
Correct.
So I very rarely use that, right? Because it can extremely be off because some books sell high, some books sell low, some books sell in between. So usually what, I've done, if there are like kind of like just say 5 recent sales that are close to each other, then I'll dump the lowest, I'll dump the highest, and then I'll take the highest number of what's left.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? That makes sense. 5, right there, 5. I'll take out the lowest. I'll take out the highest because those are kind of like outliers and stuff. Somebody wanted to pay $300 for a $100 book because they didn't care and money was no option. And then, the lowest is like, hey, man, somebody like caught everybody sleeping right on eBay. Like, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody see this coming. And then whatever's left over, that's usually where I would be as far as my price is concerned.
That's actually a good negotiation tactic. I never thought about doing it that way. I mean, next time I'm going to do that. I'll take the 5 recent sales and just do when I go to the dealer, you say, listen, let's take out the top one. And that's actually great. It's a great selling tactic. Thank you for letting me know, because I hate haggling and arguing with these guys. It's just
right. I mean, because everybody trying to beat each other. I'm not.
Right.
I'm sorry to say, everybody's trying to get the best deal possible. Right. It's a negotiation. So yeah. But but it's hard sometimes. I mean, maybe not so much with modern books, right? Because they maybe move, or it's just the latest data, right? But if you have like a 9.8 of a Bronze Age book or whatever, and it's kind of rare, what I'm saying? It's kind of hard. They're like, especially when it comes to Golden Age and pre-code horror, it gets bad. You know what I'm saying? Because you got sales, dating all the way back to 2022 and 2023. It's like, man, I can't even get 5 sales to do an average because, the amount of books that are in a census is low, extremely low. Yeah, so in that particular case, then, you start looking at, the most recent eBay sale. You're trying to find a most recent auction like Heritage or Comic Connect or something like that to see. So it gets a little bit difficult when it comes to some of the higher end, especially like Golden Age books.
True. No, I mean, all good points, man. But like I said, thank you for getting me to look at Go Collect in a different way. Like I said, I'm glad I found it. Like I said, I still use Cover Price. I use that for my raw books, and it keeps track of my stuff. Tells me how much money I made, how much I've lost over several periods, what's gone up in value, what's gone down. Yeah, but I mean, Go Collect's been pretty good so far. So yeah, but with that said, man, let's so like I said, PSA is going to be integrating with Go Collect, folks. Check that out. Also, what's coming up on the 3rd, Darnell? Tell everybody.
New Comic Book Day. That's more for that's technically more for you, not me, right? I mean, I want to say that I haven't been to a New Comic Book Day at the closest LCS to me in a while.
Are there any by you?
Yeah. There's a couple. Yeah, bro. I'm not in.
My closest one is 25 miles away, bro.
I'm not in Yemen. You know what I'm saying? I'm good.
Yeah, you are. Stop blowing. That's where you went on holiday the other day.
Yeah. There's like a couple of LCSs that are kind of close.
Nice.
But I mean, I don't really like collect too much newer stuff. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple of New Comic Book Day books from a while ago. I have like that New Comic Book Day One Punch Man that came out, so many moons ago. I got that. But for the most part, you know what I'm saying? It's just not me anymore, right? I just don't do New Comic Book Day. I'm sorry. I'm just I'm just a different kind of collector. You know what I'm saying? I love comic books. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of the newer stuff, modern stuff is kind of like, really disappoints me. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to really take a whole hell of a lot to go back to the LCS and get a box filled up, you know what I'm saying, of the pools and stuff like that. I'm sorry.
Well, I'll be there. So everybody, the 3rd New Comic Book Day coming out.
Also, but do they even do any shiny shit for New Comic Book Day? Because I mean, it cost some bread to put all that shine on the book. They just ain't giving that shit away, are they?
Man. Spit shine that cover. Yeah, no, they don't do that. And it says free comic book on it, so it's whatever. The gimmick's getting old, but it's all good. But real quick, before we get to the haul, just want to say thank you guys for 280 subscribers. Thank you so much. We
Woo!
appreciate you guys for doing that. So
I mean, I was surprised, man, because we was like in the 30s, you know. But that's
spread
cool
the
though, because
word,
we love all
man.
you guys. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we appreciate every single one of you, man. Spread that word. Hyper vibe.
You know, but the
But
views are the views is like, whoa, it really, you know, it really took a curve up and stuff like that. You know, hopefully, as we continue this, that we can compel people to start,
nice.
you know, start commenting and leaving you know, just leaving nuggets of either knowledge or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So if we're off base on something like that, hey man, course correct us, give it to us, man. And you know, we'll feature, you know, the person that made the comment that helped us out to make our collecting better, you know, make the hobby, you know, more inclusive, right? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Get some
DEI is still
freebies out
going
there.
on here, right?
Get them giveaways, get those freebies. So comment below, and also let us know which do you prefer? Go Collect, GPA, Cover Price, you name it. Just let us know what you prefer as your database to collect your books, so we can check them out.
Yeah.
But let's do the haul, man. Let's do the
You
haul.
sure you want to do the haul, man? We still gotta feel the haul, man. You're not watching any TV, you're not watching any movies or anything like that. And you said your haul was light as it was and stuff. What you know, you're gonna show 2 books. I gotta, you know, show 100 books or something like that, man. Come on, bro. Don't do me like that.
All my stuff is in storage.
Mm.
Let me see here. Actually, I haven't watched Andor yet. I was getting ready to watch that. Just been way too busy. I have been watching Daredevil. I really like it a lot. We talked about that in the last show. And believe it or not, I saw it. This is old, but the Devil May Cry cartoon or animation was on Netflix the other day, and I kind of watched that.
That's new.
And I played the video game.
No, Devil May Cry. The one on Netflix. That's a new.
That's brand new.
That's brand new.
Well,
brand new.
Well, to me, the game's old. So,
duh.
Yeah, but I thought that was really
PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2.
That's probably like a Nintendo 1 with Rob the Robot.
Right.
But no, I found it really interesting, man. Really great story. You know, hats off. I watched the entire series. So yeah,
I think I'm like maybe episode 3. I mean,
Dante's the shit, bro. You just
yeah,
gotta
it's
keep
not.
watching.
It's not like I lost interest or whatever. And so I just kind of stopped watching it. You know, if something else came out.
Yeah.
I'm watching everything that you said. I watched Andor. I watched the first 3 episodes of Andor. Mixed right now. It's kind of mixed.
Don't tell me I haven't seen.
No, I'm not gonna say nothing. It's kind of mixed right now. You'll kind of see what I'm talking about. It's kind of like you know, they're really trying to pick up, you know, a year, right? A year after the last episode from episode 1, right? Not episode, but season 1.
Okay.
But you know, they're you know, they got like 3 different kind of like storylines going at the same time, and it was just kind of really confusing. Right.
Overkill, yeah.
Okay. Not even overkill. It's like, okay, you know, yeah, this is a season, but you know, a lot of the dialogue to me seemed kind of pointless.
Okay.
This is kind of pointless. So you had Andor's storyline, you had like the 2 Imperial officers, you know, their storyline, and then who was the other storyline? There was and then the political storyline.
Okay.
Right. So all this stuff is kind of going on at the same time. So they're like bouncing. They're bouncing from storyline to storyline. And so like, you know, so the Andor storyline, you kind of get it, right? It's probably like it's right there in your face. But then when the political storyline starts doing, and they're doing things like, all right, man, where's the punchline at this? I'm having trouble here. You know what I'm saying? So No, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. As I guess, you know, that how I assess is kind of the storylines are going to slowly converge.
Compress down.
Okay. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So just say in the next run, because I think they're doing 3 episode runs, right? They're just doing 3 episodes. They're through 3 episodes. Next week, another 3 episodes, and next week, that's how they're kind of doing it.
Gotcha.
So I think they'll they'll start to merge them. They'll start to merge the storylines, and now it's going to be one. So that's what I think they're doing. But it's not bad. It's not bad. It's good. You know what I'm saying? Some of the costume design I have an issue with. It seems like it was the same. Like the costume design seems like the same costume designer from that other BS show that they had for Star Wars. Like, no, it's just the colors. The colors are just, of the clothing and stuff like that. In some instances, just like really overly saturated. It's like, man, that shit looks clownish. You know what I'm saying? Right, it just doesn't. Yeah, I'm saying like that. Who would wear that shade of blue? Who would wear that? You know what I'm saying? It's like from a costume standpoint, it's like, come on, man, it's
too much.
I mean, the design of a lot of the clothing that they had was cool. It's just the color. It's like, God, dog, man, who would wear this shit? and it's hard on the eyes. It just is like, this is ugly to look at,
Damn.
So, yeah.
There you have it. People from Star Wars, costume designers, get your shit together. It's hurting his eyes. Do you want him to not look at
my eyes? I'm suing. My eyes are sprained. I need 1.5 million for my sprained eyes for watching your damn movie.
I want half, Eddie.
I want half. I need it all. You know what I'm saying? I've gone to the movies. You know what I'm saying? I'm a movie buff. I'm a comic book buff. I'm a pseudo critic.
What'd you watch the movies?
In my own awesome.
What'd you watch the movies?
I watched the movie. I think it's The Amateur.
How was that?
That was pretty good, man. It wasn't bad. I really liked it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Sometimes I watch movies, and I said, damn, man, this would be a good television series. You know what I'm saying? Mm. So basically about a guy, he's a nerd or a geek, you know what I'm saying? A little bit kind of like socially inept. He has, issues with talking to people and things of that nature, right? Kind of uncomfortable, right? He's uncomfortable, like kind of talking to people, but extremely smart. Well, his wife gets killed during some not terrorist, but like, some deal going bad between bad people, and she got caught up in it, and she ends up getting murdered. Mm. So, he's on this vendetta to avenge his wife by killing all these guys, but he's not a killer. He's a nerd, but not a killer. And he's coming to all these like devised ways and stuff like that to kill them, you know what I'm saying, in a way that doesn't make him seem like a killer. Right. Almost, it's kind of like, I don't want to say Saw. It's kind of like Saw, right? That my man put you in a position, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, bro, if you rip this thing out and take out all your teeth and tongue, you'll live, right? That type of thing, right? So he was kind of doing kind of the same kind of thing. Like, hey, man, the device has a trigger, and if you run quick enough, you may be able to get away from it. That type of thing. So God. It wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying? It had Lawrence Fishburne in it.
Cool.
Pretty good. And then before we get to the Hyperhall, I watched Sinners.
How was that?
Michael B. Jordan. I was impressed, man. I really was. Yes, man. I'm not gonna say I'm a MB Michael B, fan or anything like that, right? I mean, the little Rocky joints and stuff like that. That stuff was kind of cool, or whatever, man. But I never really been like
my man killed T'Challa, bro. Come on now.
Yeah. I never really been that guy. But him as speaking of Black Panther, Coogler, who directed Black Panther, also worked with him to direct and produce this movie.
Okay.
And it's pretty good, man. Very well acted. I mean, the dialogue, bro, I was impressed, man. I really, really was. Even though it's kind of like almost like a slow burn, right? It's a story about vampires and stuff. You don't really start seeing the vampires, gutting people and eating people and stuff like that.
So halfway through.
To way into the movie. But, the buildup and the interaction between, the complicated story between all the characters and, how they're related and their backstory and stuff like that. man, it was good, man. It's very well put together, man. Really
I'm gonna have to go see it now that you're talking about it.
You do, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you got ADD, it's not the movie for you. If you, I'm serious, I'm gonna be real, man. I'm trying to insult anybody or anything like that. But man, if you're used to watching, getting your information in 15 seconds or less on a TikTok video or something like that, that you can't sit there and kind of like listen and comprehend the dialogue and stuff like that, then it's not the movie for you. It's just not. It's just not all flashy and kind of keeps you captivated. It's just not like that, man. I mean, once some shit starts happening, the shit ramps up really quick, but the movie is good, man. It is good.
Nice.
It is good. So it's worth seeing. Like I said, I'm not
you got me convinced. You got me sold.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not a Michael B fanboy like that or anything. I think he's a good actor.
Anakin's your boy.
Hayden. Yeah, Hayden Christensen as Anakin. Hayden's done like a Jumper. That's a one movie.
Oh, Jumpers. Yeah, that's right.
I thought that was pretty good or whatever. Movie. But it never sold it. Yeah. This is not like I'm some sort of fanboy or dick rider of Michael B. Whatever. But no, man. But if something's good work, it's good work. No matter who does it. If I like them or not, if it's good work, it's good work.
I agree.
So yeah.
Nice. Well, there you have it, folks. Go check out Sinners. Go check out The Amateur. And once again, Comic Book Week, Free Comic Book Day, the 3rd. So
dude, my man said Free Comic Book Week.
Every day. Free Comic Book Year.
The week,
man. On Hypervibe.
Yeah, bro, we should put out misinformation. Did you know that Comic Book Day turned to the Comic Book Week?
That happens every day, so people should be used to misinformation. Ain't nothing
new. Like actually, comic book, just say Comic Book Day was on that Saturday or something like that. You got people showing up on Wednesday. Hey man, I'm here to get my free comic books.
These dudes on YouTube said it's all week, man. What's up?
It was all week, bro. It's all week. These guys are legit. These guys are legit. They got 300 subscribers. They're legit.
Jesus Christ. Once again, guys, thank you for subscribing. Oh, Lord. Darnell's killing me. All right. Time for the haul.
All right. You first.
Mine's light, so let's go. So here's some more shiny shit to make you mad. We got the gold foil Hulk number 1.
The original to that, man. Why you do this to yourself? Just get the original to that.
I like this one. That's the gold foil one from Whatnot.
God, bro.
And last but not least, I'm very light this week. This isn't worth anything. It's a slab, but I just
it's worth something to you.
It's worth it's a CGC. Come on, Cameron.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep. So it's a Venom 28. And I think let me see who the artist is. Venom 28. And this is Ron Gideon cover.
Mm-hmm.
Donny Cates story. Valerio Giangiordano cover. Listen, I can't even say that. That name's only my last name. Go figure. But yeah, so like I said, I like that. Pretty cool.
Is that a homage to another cover? That's an original.
No, it's an original. It's It's Venom 28. I mean, they make several variants of 28.
No. Is that a homage to one?
No homage at all. Just Comics Elite Virgin Sketch Edition, but no homage. Nope. But I saw that, I'm like, man, that looks nice. I love the black and white. I'm like, I gotta get that. $25.
It costs more to slab it, send it, insure it, and get it. Yeah, God, no.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, might not be worth anything, man. It looks nice in my collection. So yeah, there you go.
Let's see here. I got in 1, 2, 3. I mean, I get numerous books in, man. It's like they did the boxes never stop coming. But got a bunch of some Golden Age, some Pre-Code, and one Silver Age book and stuff. So I'll start with this one. It's baffling.
Love that red.
What issue is this? Damn it. Which one is this? I'm not even sure what issue this is. Who knows? It's in the March sometime or whatever. Anyway. So really cool Pre-Code book. You got the pygmies pulling on the red dress and stuff like that. Like, yo, drink the concoction broad and stuff. She's like, no, I don't want to be a big man. I want to be like you guys. Stop. So yeah, thought that was interesting. It's it's in pretty good shape.
It looks like it.
It's in pretty good shape. It has a little spine roll to it, but I think
you can penny it out.
I think I can either. And I ain't gonna do it. Either my presser can do some magic, kind of roll it, just get the rolling and shit like that. Man, get it all squared, and I may grade that.
Nice.
This is a cool one.
What's that?
Rangers right.
Comics.
Yeah, it's a bondage cover. Rangers number 21. Got old girl, man, by her hair. She all tied up. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, it's knocking somebody out.
They're trying to, the hooded dude or whatever. First appearance of fire hair. I don't even know who the hell that was when it comes to something going on in 1945. This book's from 1945. All right.
Jesus.
So yeah, I thought it was a good buy. Grade a little bit lower, than I would like it. 3.0 is kind of low, but the bottom line is like, those books trying to find like in 5s and stuff like that, they really get pricey, really get hard to find.
It looks good.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look bad. I mean, it hadn't been cleaned or pressed or anything like that. Maybe I could pop it, clean it, press it, maybe get a 4, 5. I don't know. Who knows? Here's a good one. Vault of Horror, 31.
Love that red again, man.
Vault of Horror dude got the sledgehammer. Look at my man's head.
Jesus.
Look at that. Pulverized.
Dude.
Got the blood and stuff. Even though the blood's not in red, you can see the pool, right?
I think the guy got the point.
No, man, he got the blunt. He got the blunt of it because the dude leaves a sledgehammer on his head and stuff like that.
Let me tell you 3 times.
Yep. This came from the Bobby Blue collection, right?
Who's
this
that?
book. I don't know, man. Somebody can tell us down in the comments. I mean, I guess
Bobby Blue. He needed the money.
I don't know. The guy probably had when they do, collections for people or collectors, they had like, really large, collection, untapped or whatever, some BS or whatever, I don't know. So anyway, let's see here. And then this one here.
Beware or Be Square. Look at these guys. Is that a giant shrimp? What are they fighting?
I don't know.
I see a claw.
Some cockroach. You know what I'm saying? This was kind of used in Sodi. This is one of the books they use in Seduction of the Insect, right?
Nice.
And then like a 6.5, really good grade in this book. This is one I've been looking for. I'm really looking for Beware 10. That's the one I really, really want. But I'm getting there. Nice. 12, 11, 10, 9, whatever. So I'm getting there. And last but not least, look what I found.
Nice. Silver Surfer, number 1. Sweet.
Nah, number 3. Number 3, goddamn it.
Number 3.
Yeah, first appearance of Mephisto.
Mephisto.
Yeah, first appearance of Mephisto. I really like this cover. Really like that story. I have a raw one. It's probably like maybe 7.0, 7.5, maybe. But I was hanging out some of these little groups and stuff like that. Once again, man, people get desperate. Oh man, I gotta sell. Turn those machines back on. Man, I got you. I got you over here. You know what I'm saying? So
I gotta watch that movie again.
Yeah.
Sell.
Turn those machines back on. But nah. It could have probably been a much higher book, right? Just the book. It's not this particular book, but this issue. But they decided to use the female Silver Surfer instead of him for the Fantastic Four. So you probably see, I can't remember her name, with the female's name that ended up becoming the Silver Surfer female type, right?
Right.
So there's probably, a little bit of clamor to get that particular issue. But, if they were going to have him, you know what I'm saying? if they're going to have, this variant of the Silver Surfer, this book probably would have took a spike, whatever. But not still a great book to me. You don't need a movie or anything like that or a TV show for me to have a desire for a particular book or a particular storyline or whatever and stuff. So, what I do hate about collecting now is, a lot of people kind of equate value to, oh, it's in a movie. That means it's going to be something, and it's not the case. It's just not the case. Those are, to me, I hate to say, they're just suckers, right? They're trying to, ride some sort of wave or something like that, because it happens all the time, right? Let's look at Morbius, right? When they say they're going to do a Morbius movie, that's Spider-Man with 101 or whatever it is, shot up. Oh, man, Morbius movie, it's going to be fantastic, whatever, whoop-de-whoop. And then after the movie came out, it damn flopped and stuff like that. All of a sudden, people trying to dump the book, you know what I'm saying? And it went down to prices it was before, there was a clamor and stuff, right? Though, to me, I hate to say it, they're just suckers. You know what I'm saying? Don't fall into that trap, collect what you want. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to try to buy it, going to try to buy something that, during its, during a peak or something like that, when there's visibility. And I told you that, when I first met you, it's like, hey man, I don't buy what's hot now. You know what I'm saying? I buy what I think is going to be hot in the future. Right. Okay. Right. If I'm trying to speculate or whatever, or trying to cash in on something, what book can I buy now at a really cheap price that's going to have something done to it of consequence to be able to sell it and make a profit later?
Right. Yeah. You never make, once it's hot, you're too late.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, but you can wait, you can keep it on your look. And once it's not hot no more, like prices start to plummet, then you can go in and
pick it up
and start scooping stuff up. But to buy something during the wave and stuff, you're just an idiot. Look what happened with serious, you are. Look what happened with the first Eternals, #1.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I had like 5 of them damn things, right? 9/8 white pages. I had like a handful of them, right? Man, I was selling them things at like $2,500 a piece. Dude, you lucky if you get 300-400 now for a 9/8, right? So, but suckers, man, like, they clamoring to it and stuff. I mean, I don't think a lot of those people are still around, but they're still there to spike up prices and stuff. But yeah, but that's my haul. You know what I'm saying?
That's a pretty good haul.
That's all right. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have like, damn, you know what I'm saying? There's not a nuke in there, right? You know what I'm saying? It's good. It's really good that Beware 12. I was looking for that. The rest of that stuff technically really are like impulse buys, right? None of that stuff except for Beware 12 was like on my hit list. It was like, oh, that seems like a deal, right? Yeah, I'll take it. So more than likely, some of that stuff will get sold except for the Beware 12.
Like we tell all our viewers, man, you collect what you want to collect.
Just take care of the books, man. Take care of history.
Yep. Exactly. Well, with that said, man, guys, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week with some more good stuff. And we appreciate the subscribers. I mean, seriously, bottom of our hearts, we appreciate the fact that you guys are subscribing, listening, watching, viewing, whatever it is y'all do. We appreciate you so much. Love.
So start commenting. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we might have to start putting stuff. You have to put stuff all in the damn stuff saying, hey, comment. We'll send you something. Kate's from Kate's Comics. Shout out to her. Do great work over there. Kate, CAITS, Kate's Comics. She's over there at Instagram. Really kind person, really nice person. As a matter of fact, she commented on one of our previous videos and stuff like that, and she got a box. We sent her some books, right? So comment, get involved and stuff. Help us help you. Help us and stuff like that, and get some free stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I wanted to announce too. Anybody who comments or gives us some ideas, well, we don't need ideas, but just say something that you want us to talk about. Like say something that interests you. Like, hey guys, why don't you talk about this? And if we think it's credible, worth bringing up, we choose your idea. We'll say, hey, this is from such and such, Johnny from Oklahoma. Boom, Johnny, we'll get you some free stuff. Simple as that.
Yeah,
Easy
you know what I'm
peasy.
saying? We'll, I mean, two simpletons, you know what I'm saying? We'll try to do some research and come up with our own philosophy or something, or how we think, you know what I'm saying? Because, we really don't follow what anybody else is doing. We listen to what people are saying, but we don't follow anybody
Right.
else is doing, and everything that we're talking about, what we're saying is coming from the heart. None of this is manufactured or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? There's no chat GPT going on in the background or whatever and stuff like that. So if we're ignorant on something, we just are, or misinformed or lightly informed and stuff like that. It's coming from a real place. You know what I'm saying?
And
I think that's what, sometimes what the world misses.
I'm glad you brought that up, because we're one of the few shows, if you look on YouTube, that talks about pop culture, comics, movies, whatever, where we might watch other people's contents, but you never see us follow them and bring out the same news. We're always trying to do something different, just give you a different place, different kind of migrate and get away from the everybody's doing everything else.
Right.
Same nonsense. So
Right.
That's what we're doing. But thanks again, man. We appreciate you guys. Catch you next week. Peace. Peace, love, and hair grease.